Media,
the voice of the community.
I am Dr. Bizness.
And I'm the one and only Lady G.U.N.S. That means I am greatness under no stipulation.
If you were tuning in as we were in mid-banter, I was trying to encourage the women not to be on the
cash
pole
app.
and to pick up the Bible and to start reading the scriptures, which feed life into us.
He was trying to cash out diamonds to make it hard.
No, that's where I order my Bibles from. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
From Kiki Thunder? Where Kiki Thunder get the Bibles from? And are they sticky?
Family, we're here with Shanna. She is in the house. She has been a part of this discussion prior to the break. We were counseling her on not cursing during the broadcast because she had mentioned the word budget.
Ooh, he said it again.
I know. It's like, come on, you can't be saying that word. You know, it makes people cringe and stuff. You know, we got little kids watching and whatnot. You talking about budgeting and whatnot. You know, this is rated PG.
No, it was rated B for budget.
I might have to take that.
Go ahead. Put it in your budget.
That's right.
That's
right.
Absolutely. There's two things associated with budgeting. Mm-hmm. One is establishing the budget, and the other one is living by the budget.
That's right.
So I do business development. So establishing budgets work very well. Mm-hmm. But then when I turn them over to my client, them living by the budget oftentimes become a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because they want what they want when they want it.
Mm-hmm. But that's where habits come in. You know?
There's good habits and bad habits.
Absolutely.
So what are some bad habits?
Impulsive purchasing.
I was just thinking, see you get it.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there before I had my daughter. I was the one to buy the $500 handbag and,
you wanted
go out and just do, whatever I wanted in the mall I got. Or if I wanted to go on vacation.
But that's fine if you budget for it.
That's right.
So here's the impulse line item within my budget.
Right, but that wasn't the case.
Oh, okay.
The case was I had the money. It was in my account, and I'm going to get it.
Right.
And then when the car note become due.
Right.
On the
we might be a little tight.
What happened was, and can you and why you going to charge me a late fee? And just because I'm 60 days behind, can't you help a sister out and da-da-da-da-da?
Y'all just want my money.
Exactly.
You just wanted our services, yes. The same way you wanted the product.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
They enter the agreement and then want to back out and, call you the devil if they hold you to it.
Right.
It's like, no, the mortgage is due the first of the month.
That's right.
That's what the document says.
Right.
We didn't change or alter it.
I knew a guy, first of all, I didn't even realize they did this. I hadn't had a car note in so long. But there's certain places where if you don't make your car payment, they low jack your car like they shut it off. Like it won't start, it won't go, it won't move, it won't anything.
Wow.
You serious?
Yes.
Like them little scooters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the little Segways, but they put a low jack on your car.
I did not know that.
Wow.
I found out, and it was
the hard way, or
no, it wasn't me. No,
it's like she on the side of the road. So that's why I saw you walking up Independence Boulevard.
So the funny thing is, the guy that they did that to, like, he had went to a basketball game, was flossing and buying, and like you kicking it, dude. Your car note is due the same day. Every month, the 13th, the 4th, or whatever agreement you made, it's the same thing every month. Now, he go out, he highfalutin and high rolling. Know your car note is due the next day. You get up and the car won't start. Look, how I'm gonna get to work? And you want your money, but you won't let me go to work so I can make. You had that money yesterday when you was at the ball game, acting like LeBron.
That's
like you doing too much right now. But they literally have created that where you won't do what you're supposed to. Shut it down.
That's what Kevin Hart did. He was hanging out with one of his ball players or whatever.
Yeah.
At the club or something.
They had their VIP tables
and whatnot. He trying to keep up with the, he a millionaire, but he was keeping up with the million.
He said athlete millions and comedian millions. It ain't even in the same bracket.
Right. Two different millions. So he trying to keep up. And at the end of the night, he sort of made it do what it do and transfer what he had to transfer and download and sell some stock. Transfer some funds around in order to whatever. But then they had a great time. They touched bases and they're like, yeah, we're going to do it again tonight.
Yeah.
That's what he thought. Well, see the way my check-ins and my savings is. See my savings got transferred. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to make it.
He ain't reached that level of millionaireship.
No,
He ready.
not at all. When I work with people, I do health and wellness, personal training. And one of the things we look at is a budget, because everybody says, it's too expensive to eat healthy. My response is, you can't buy kale and cookies. You're going to have to pick.
That's right.
You can pay for it up front by getting the things that are appropriate, or pay for it in your medical bills in the long run, because you've not been a good steward of your health. But one of the biggest things that I have them do is take maybe the last 2 months, and if there are people that are fast food debit swipers, like, go back over your statement and highlight every single time you ate out.
That's right.
And get a visualization of how much money you're spending in a month just on drive-through.
Correct.
Like, I ain't even talking about P.F. Chang's and Chima's, just on the regular drive-thrus.
Right.
I have a friend, he spends on average $25 a day. And he's like, that's lunch. And I'm like, peanut butter and jelly, you will survive.
Right.
Like, and he doesn't have a car. Like, there are needs that he has. And
Now, it depends upon who he's bringing to lunch.
him. Self.
Yeah.
He's not
Because
treating.
sometimes,
No.
if you trying to cultivate relationships with the millionaire,
Right.
you got to pay the $25
There you go.
because
Right.
he going to invest $10 million into an investment account that you going to get a commission off of. Then
Then that's worth it. But in this case, no.
He had Chili's.
Yeah.
No.
He had Applebee's, And literally, I was like, so why don't you? Well, I don't have a car and I just have to eat, because he lives out in the country but works in the city. So I just have to eat while I'm there. And I'm like,
bring it in with you.
I was like, you can literally go to the grocery store, one Uber ride, get groceries, call another Uber ride, go back home, and then take see, my roommate, like, it's always somebody else.
That's
and
right.
he went to the grocery store and he didn't even tell me. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, oh, well, okay.
Right.
Like, I don't even want to try to help at that point.
Yeah, because they have to want it for themselves. And again, that's where a mindset comes in. You have to be able to there's times where I want certain things or want to do something. I have to tell myself, like, nope, that's not worth it. And the clients that I work with, same thing. I break it down. Whereas we're talking, what is non-negotiables? That's what I call them.
Right.
So non-negotiables is, I need a roof over my head.
Yeah.
I need a car to drive to work and school. I need groceries in the home. I have to contribute to my 401k. And I have to put something aside for my children or an investment, or those are all non-negotiables.
Right.
For you.
Correct.
And everybody's non-negotiable would be different based upon their priorities and where they are in life.
Yes, absolutely. Right. But we should all be planning for our future. Ultimately, how you go about that, yes, it could be a little different.
But how does a person plan for their future when it's all about here and now? When it's all about, I ain't getting no life insurance because I can't take it with me anyway, and I don't care what they do with it. When I'm gone, it ain't gonna matter to me no how. And
see, we rolling right back to mindset.
I ain't leaving them with
rolling right
nothing.
back to the mindset,
Go ahead and marry somebody else with my money, and now you're gonna be living high off the hog. But yet I had to scrape the bottom of the barrel with you, and now it's like I don't understand.
But see, once you reach that point where it's so peaceful here. It's so peaceful when you have a good mindset. When you choose to do what's best for you or your future or your children or your partner, it's such an amazing feeling.
As long as you don't have toxic people in your life.
Hey. See, now you're talking. Now you're really talking.
They will drain you. They will take from you. They will make your life miserable. Every day is a horrible day. It's like, it's okay to be sick from time to time, but sick every day.
Right.
All day?
Every day.
You at the rough side of the mountain all day, every day?
Right.
I got
years?
that gout, that eczema, that psoriasis. I just caught that Budweiser hive. You mean the coronavirus? Yeah, the Michelob fever. I got that too.
But yet, won't get no health insurance.
Or or will choose the one that really isn't beneficial, most co-pays, and doesn't really cover what your sicknesses are. And so again, you have to just balance out importance, prioritize, plan, prepare, and you'll still have moments where you're not as prepared as you wish you were.
Right.
But that's a learning experience, I remember I had a fire in my home. This was during the process of building my first store, which was 111 Boutique. And we went from, our First Avenue location to in the mall. and I had a fire in my home, and I was helping my mom take care of my dad who had dementia. It was just so much going on at one time. And I didn't know I didn't have the right coverage, you know? So I had to pay for my mortgage at the same time as paying for us to have somewhere to stay for 11 months.
Wow.
While building my business.
All because you don't know how to cook.
Yeah. I know how to cook. I know how to cook.
That would have been a takeout night. You burned it up.
We made sure we
We're burning in the kitchen.
But it's true, you know, it's one of those things where you have to, your life is going to give you these different hurdles, you know, and you really have to know how to take it 10 toes down, as they say, you know, and really just keep moving.
But I think that's where having good advisors and counselors come in, because sometimes you won't understand.
Correct.
Like you said, you didn't understand the type of insurance that you had. I had a piece of property. It was an investment piece of property. I didn't understand the type of insurance that I had. And the house got burnt down. Single parent mom living in the house, just had a new baby. And apparently she got hooked up with the wrong crowd, owed them some money. So now the gang members walking down the middle of the street, flexing, talking about, you better have my money or else this time next week, I'm gonna burn the house down. Now, mind you, that's my house.
Right.
She just renting it, but it's my house.
They ain't worried about
exactly.
you.
Exactly. I'm like, so it's my house. Burn her stuff. Don't burn my stuff. You know.
Take
so
her stuff out.
Thank you. You know, and put it in the middle of the street, and then go ahead and like that. Leave my house alone. But apparently, she took them seriously, so she packed up, and she left and moved, you know, in with Mama. In the meantime, well, nobody told me nothing or whatever. So now they show back up a week later with the little makeshift alcohol torch, whatever, and they burn down my house. So the next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call talking about you need to come board your house up. Board it up? Why? I got a tenant there. Well, it's water damage, fire damage, and everything else. So this was a piece of property that I'd purchased, renovated, and had back on the market for another investor so that they can earn some positive cash flow. Long story short, I bought the house at like 50 grand. It was worth 100 grand. I put it back on the market at 80 grand. So all I wanted was to make $30,000 spread. I'm cool. Well, didn't know the type of insurance that I had. So after all this went down, police report submitted to the insurance company, they sent me a check for like $120,000. Property only worth 100 grand. I only had it on the market for 80 grand. I'm like, did you not see the listing? I only wanted 30 grand. They giving me a check for 120. So now I'm at $70,000 margin profit. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, happy day. I had to call the insurance company first just to make sure they didn't make a mistake.
Once
I cash
like, wait a minute, you ain't getting this back.
You ain't getting it back. In fact, I'm changing my address. I'm going to be over in the Bahamas.
I got a P.O. box now.
Exactly.
He's about to change his name to Bob Celery.
Exactly. So that went well, but then a couple weeks later, a second check came. I'm like, okay, what? And the second check was like $30,000. So here I got 120 plus another 30 on a house that I purchased for 50 grand.
So
now I'm $100,000 profit margin. So it's like, no, I'm getting pumped now. So I was like, I'm an insurance agent didn't say nothing about this. So I pick up the phone. I call and like, yes, your name is. Oh, okay, yeah, that's your check. We cut it. This is a check number. It's good. Go ahead.
Okay.
It was for the loss in rent.
Got it.
So the insurance that my agent got me, and I didn't know, because at this point I'm like, give me some insurance, because I do so many transactions. But he knew what I was doing, so he positioned me to have the right type of insurance, unbeknownst to me. So I got replacement value. Versus the actual value of the house. So it got me more money. And he put a rider on it where I can get the loss of rent. Because, you know, I was renting the properties out. And that was that additional $30,000 check. So I'm like, oh, happy day. This is a wonderful thing. So then she called me 6 months later talking about you not got a place to live. Because she's still with Mama. So I had to think real hard because I did have a piece of property that she could move into. And I'm calling my insurance agent to find out. So what insurance? Tell me the terms again of this. Because I got me a tenant, and but I decided not to rent to her. But it would have been a wonderful thing to make another 100 grand.
Yeah,
free and
not
clear.
like that.
I don't know. It wasn't my fault though. You know, that was between her and her gang
she could
people
have
or
been
whatever.
in the house at the time, so it was a blessing. The first time, never
So
mind.
I should have
You
gotten
ain't
life
doing it.
insurance
No.
on her, and then list myself as a beneficiary, and that would have been another $100,000.
No, then you would have been a suspect for murder.
Right.
Because you would have.
put another 10 grand on the kids, so that's another check
Don't
that
do
come
that.
2 weeks
much
later.
motive.
Right.
Too much motive.
I'm just, it's financial planning.
We're not. Let's not say we did. Thank you so very much. You creating good habits, ignoring that is one of the habits. That's how we're gonna knock that down. So that's hilarious.
Jake from State Farm.
With your khaki pants on. He sounds hideous.
As long as the check clear.
But what the moral of what he's saying is creating good habits and budgeting and things like that. The worst thing in the world that I see within our own community is that the poor is trying to teach the poor. Those that don't have are trying to teach those that are trying to get.
That's right.
And there's no education. There's no example of that. That's like going to a beautician with no edges.
Right.
Like, you say you good, but your proof is not in your pudding, ma'am.
I have seen, and it still happens to this day, it's almost like they want somebody who has been through what they've been through, but to take that barrier and that difference of, okay, but this person has done it.
Right.
They have been there where you're at. Yes, they're at a higher place than you right now, or more, self-sufficient.
Right.
But listen to them.
Right.
But they don't.
And they give you that, you think you better than us attitude.
That's it.
No, I think I did better than you. I don't think I am better than you.
That's
but
right.
I am better off.
Right. That's good.
Right. And if you take those same lessons and just listen to them, you may actually be able to work it out even better than they did.
And that's the goal.
Right.
And faster.
Right.
Yes.
Because I made some mistakes along the way. I had some issues, some problems.
That's right.
Let me tell you what not to do.
Correct.
And then you do what you do, combine my what not to do,
Right.
and you'll achieve a whole lot more, a whole lot faster.
If you're focused on that. But see, if your focus is on, she thinks she's doing this, or he thinks he can do that, or, you're not here, you don't understand. Okay, but I've been there, and you know what? Even people who have a lot of money or, experience, they still are going to go through things too.
Absolutely.
Higher levels, new devils.
Yeah, absolutely. You're
So
still
just
going to go
because
through
you
things.
got $1 million, well, guess what? You got $1 million problems
That's right.
now.
Right.
That's right.
And sometimes it's better off having 10 grand.
Thank you.
So you have 10 grand problems than the $1 million
It's
problems, because those are a whole lot bigger and a whole lot more complicated.
Absolutely.
Because the more you got, the more people want. So now people want to take stuff from you. They want to sue you. They want to badmouth you. They want to run your name through the mud. All this other stuff in order for them to get up. It's what we see in political world.
Right.
You can be a politician, but they literally hire people to dig up dirt on you.
Correct.
If you're running for
Ain't
office.
that something?
It's like that is your job. I'm paying you to dig up dirt on people.
Yeah,
It's like,
I've
who does
overcome all these things. I've reached this point, and now you're gonna go right back down here and dig up what I
Back
done
in
went through.
1972.
That's why I said if I ever ran for office,
Yeah.
I would be like Eminem when he did 8 Mile. He talked about his whole self, so there was nothing left to talk about. I would be that candidate that'd be like, first of all, I just want to thank everybody that forgave me back in 1980 when I had that school fight. Keisha, you're my friend now. I respect you and what you've accomplished and done. And I would literally here it is. And these lessons have taught me to be this better candidate, this better whatever. When I do consulting for a corporation or a CEO or a leader, it's very different than when I am just teaching within our community. Sad to say, and most people are like, well, that's so negative. But I'm like, if I don't attack the elephant in the room, they'll never make it. Yeah. They'll never get to the next level. So when I'm in the community and I'm teaching, I literally state, here's why people don't make it. They're negative, they're not consistent, they're whatever. Your success, everybody's success will look different based on what you're doing.
Right.
But it's just the basic foundations of not being a good steward of your time, talent, and your treasure. You want people that aren't consistent, that don't have a strong work ethic, that don't prioritize, because they're coming listening. You can be, when I look around this room, I see nothing but potential. You got potential. They want,
It's true. It's true.
They want that. And it doesn't work because I haven't told you the very thing. If we can get rid of the stuff that's stopping you from being successful, you don't even need me. You automatically walk right into your success. Because it's not your desire or your faith and belief in what you can become. It's the habits that are holding you back that need to be broken.
And everything can't have a dollar sign attached. You know, experience sometimes is going to come from you doing something for free. You know, when I look at, you know, when I was in banking, so I did banking for 9.5 years. And I always thought I wanted to be
that person that stole money from Wells Fargo?
No, and I never worked for Wells Fargo.
She said, don't put me in there.
I'm just saying, somebody stole some money out the safe and was siphoning stuff off.
Yeah, I heard about that, you know, but that's not me. But, you know, when I first started, I was 18 years old, and I went in for a part-time teller position, right? And by the time I was done with my interview, the assistant manager was like, there's no way I'm letting you leave here with a teller position. You're going to be a banker and you're going to sit right there. And here I am. I've always worked. You know, I've always had great work ethic for my parents.
Right.
And, but I'm like a banker. I don't know how to open up no loan or do nothing or, you know, credit scores and how that works. The one thing is taking the opportunity from somebody. Even if you have no experience, they're going to guide you through. They are going to guide you through. And I tell you, I actually wrote that as part of my book, you know, in Next Level Mindset. That was probably one of the first things that boosted up my confidence, you know. And from there, I always wanted to learn more. I was eager. I looked at the manager's position, not because I wanted it, but because I wanted to understand it.
Absolutely.
What is she doing? What is the benefits? How can I help somebody else by doing X, Y, and Z? Most people want to do that once they say, pay me. You know what I mean? Pay me and then I'll do that. No,
that ain't my job.
Learn every level of anything in your industry. I don't know. It could be, you know, home buying and flipping, and learn every part of it. You know, and it doesn't mean that you're going to do it all. It just means you understand it. This is why people get taken advantage of with money. They, you know, they get all this money, they put it in an accountant's hand. Do you know what the accountant does? You need to know what the accountant is doing. You don't need to do the work.
Sign this power of attorney, please, and we'll take it from there.
No, they don't even say that. Sign this POA. Oh, I know that group. I know that group. That's right. They come in here. Yeah, sure.
It's true. It's so true. You
they
know?
Can't wait to see you.
And then you done got 20% of your money at the end of the day. Now you complaining because you made a meal and you ain't getting it. You know, so it's you just have to really understand, like, get your experience in. Surround yourself by those people. But when this actually brings up Bible class. So I was in Bible class one day, and he was saying, you could be surrounded by all the greatness in the room, and that's fine. But if you're not doing the work internally, it's not gonna help you.
Right.
So yeah, he's doing great, she's doing great, they can help you. But until you do the work yourself, it's not gonna help you the way that it should. You know, and it really opened up my eyes. Like, there are a lot of people who will take pictures with somebody, you know, because they know that person's influence. So it makes them look good.
Right.
But you're not there yet. You know, internally, that person did some inner work that took them to that level. So really just focusing on yourself inside and making sure that no matter what, you're confident in what you're doing, and you'll get there. You know?
How can people get in contact with you?
They can find me on Instagram at s.grahamconsulting, as well as on my website at sgrahamconsulting.com, and that is Graham, like graham cracker. So yes.
That nickel bag.
You got that S Graham.
14 keys.
She was like, but did you budget for it?
That's right. That's right, because you ain't getting your money back.
She said you ain't getting your money back.
Family, you have been tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on Wdrbmedia.
The voice of the community. Awesome.
Nice.
That was really
very good. I'm so happy you guys invited me. Thank you so much.
Good deal. Good deal.
You ready to go again?